Breaking news, the Indiana Fever just solidified their starting lineup and signed a 3-time champion, a 2-time All-Star, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and a 6'2 veteran forward, Natasha Howard. We was just talking about it like 2 days ago. We talking about it's like 2 days ago where I was up here saying we just need a power forward, and we got one that's going to be super motivated by the fans, and the Caitlin Clark spoon-fed passes. All them spoon-fed passes that people was dropping, all them fast breaks that people was missing, Natasha Howard cleans that up. The rebound problem, Natasha Howard cleans that up. The Angel Wilsons, the Angel Reeses, for God's sakes, that we had to go through. I don't know why Angel Reese was destroying us with Alyssa Smith, but now we got somebody for that. We got Lexi Hall as the point of attack defender. Now we got Natasha Howard. Oh my, we got so much to talk about today. Welcome to Fever Friday.
Welcome to Fever Fridays.
We literally solidified our starting lineup. I told y'all, and I know, like, not that I told y'all so, like I told y'all so, but like we spoke about it. The Fever front office is very trustable. Like, I wholeheartedly trust them. I don't have no doubts about them. Like, anything they do, we just gotta take it. We gotta take it for what it is, because they're gonna do what's in the best interest for the team, for the fans. Like, they care about that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on, right? Lexi Hall was our best defender last year, and that was nothing to scoff at, because Lexi Hall was top 5 point of attack defenders in the league, if you ask me. But now that we got Natasha and Lexi, like, Lexi becomes the second defender now, the second best defender at least on this team, and that means trouble for teams with 2+ scorers. Like, we look at teams like, let's say possibly New York Liberty. Let's say they even get Satu Sabali and they become the most scariest super team of all time, right? You got Natasha Howard and Lexi Hall to guard both of them. So now, let's say if Lexi Hall was only able to guard Stewie, now you got Natasha Howard to guard Sabali. Or if you want to switch it, however you want to switch it. Like, it's just so much defense on this roster now. And now we just got to tinker around the edges. We got to add to the bench. Like, it's not a perfect roster yet, but the Fever is very much title contending. Very much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even a joke. Like, a lot of people might think it's biasness and stuff, and I don't, like, a lot of people that's not Fever fans really don't know what's going on. I'm starting to realize that, like, people actually don't watch the Fever. They just hate the Fever because of Caitlin Clark. It's funny. Like, it's actually funny with the takes that I hear. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, we solidified our front court perfectly. Like it could, I don't think it was a better free agent we could have picked up this offseason. We got Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard working in tandem to anchor our help defense. And Natasha being a secondary shot blocker to Aaliyah Boston just makes that much more scary.
Bow, bow, bow.
Like, Aaliyah Boston is already a good defender when it comes to protecting the paint, but now you got Aaliyah Boston. Let's say she does get beat. Let's say somebody gets by Aaliyah, right? You got Natasha, or at least if Aaliyah Boston bothers the shot enough to the player, a player got to switch the shot. You got Natasha Howard coming from the help side, the weak side, to swat it to the stands. Like, I don't, like, people, they're going to sleep on this move. I hope they do too. This move is going to change the whole direction of this team. Like, yes, at her 3-ball, it's lacking a little bit, but her defense, you cannot make up for that. Her scoring, you cannot. She destroyed us last year. Y'all forgot? Yeah. Natasha Howard destroyed the Fever last year. I think she dropped 26 points on us, and she exploded for 36, which we're going to talk about later on, against the Mercury. Like, just because she's 33 years old, people saying her age. But this girl is very much still dominating the league, especially when she wants to. And we're going to get into why I felt like, me personally, when I read in between the lines and I took from what she said, why I feel like she wasn't giving Dallas her 100%. And people's judging off of that. You can't judge off of somewhere a player doesn't want to be, their performance there. Because a lot of people will come here, like, look at Lexi Hall. Her 3-point percentage, if you judged it off of any year besides this one, I know she just got to the league recently, but if you judge it before the 2024 year, you would think Lexi Hall was not a 3-point threat. Besides the college and stuff. I know she was doing good at college, but you get what I'm saying? A system can fit certain players to the point where they can thrive in. So, moving on, right? Now that we already talked about how we solidified our front court perfectly, what you saw Temi and Lexi do last year, that was a microcosm of what we're going to see with Natasha and Aaliyah with rim protection. And when you consider how versatile Natasha is, this is what I want to talk about. And when you consider how versatile Natasha is on the perimeter, as well as she could clamp ball handlers with Lexi, and I haven't seen any numbers or percentages with Natasha Howard on-screen navigations, like how good she could navigate through screens. But with a Defensive Player of the Year title under your name, I'm not doubting her for a second. I'm going to be honest, because we got Lexi Hall playing amazing defense. So if we got a former Defensive Player Player of the Year, and it was 6 years ago. Yeah, I know. But you got to understand, half of that defensive effort, like, okay, Natasha Howard's floor is another, like, her defensive floor, as far as, like, her capabilities on defense, her floor is another person's ceiling. You get what I'm saying? Like, she was a defensive player of the year. Meaning, if she's just, even if she's not as good as she used to be, even being somewhere below that is more than enough than what the Fever need. Caitlin Clark can literally turn water into wine. You know what I'm saying? Look what she did with the roster. I swear to God. Hear me out. What the Fever did last year, what Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Miller, like what they took the team to, Aaliyah Boston and Alexia, yes, I know. But what they did with the roster, we talking about a roster, like, we're going to literally look back at the roster, like, how did Caitlin Clark do it? How did she take that team to the playoff? They're going to be talking about how she took maids and janitors to the playoff for her, literally. Like, she took Melissa Smith to the playoff. I don't even want to, like, throw strays at anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but respectfully so, Katie Lou, like, this is a place we're going to look back at in the future and be like, wow, they was on, like, Caitlin took them to the playoff. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, Natasha Howard is here. All right, let's move on, though. What else we got to talk about? We got to talk about how, I noted this, too. I wanted to note, Natasha Howard averaged 6+ rebounds since 2018 until now. And she's proven her scoring floor, meaning her worst averages in a season. Her scoring floor is 9 points a game when given at least 20 minutes. That is her worst average. And I think that season she only played like 13 games, or she only played like 22 games or something like that. Something small, you know what I'm saying? But, like, moral of the story is Natasha Howard is a bucket getter, a rebounder, a defender. What more can you ask for? Like, this is literally the perfect piece you wanted to throw into this lineup. I even said, like, if we're not going to get a 3-point sniper, she damn sure better be able to play defense. And this girl is a former defense player of the year. Watch, the spark that she's going to get from this season, oh my goodness, I cannot wait. And it's 2020. She was drafted by this Fever as well. So it's like, oh my goodness, I can't contain myself. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I cannot contain myself. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I know basketball to the boy. At least I trust that I know basketball enough to know what they gonna do with this girl. Like, defensive. Oh my God, like, I need a second. Like, I just sparked the camera. Like, I hope y'all all feeling this is a Fever day. Like, think everything. Like, oh my goodness, what we went through last year, like, it's just traumatizing. But it was only 1 year, but it was just like the Christy Saws experience. Like, she real life scarred me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, Christy Saws did something to me in months that I haven't felt my whole NBA watching as an NBA fan. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Natasha Howard, she's available for an older veteran. Okay, like, as far as her ages, she's available for the most part. She's only missed 15 plus games in a season 2 times in her career. Only twice. Keep in mind, this is a veteran, right? Who's been playing for about a decade plus. She only missed 15 plus games 2 times in her career. So at worst, if we're taking her for her worst, let's say she comes in and give us her worst. Her worst is playing 60% of the season. I'm living with that. Like, that's what I'm saying. The front office they know what they doing. I'm living with that. She only, like, come on now. She's playing 60% of the season at minimum, which is better than what we got from Temi, who only played 22 games for us. And mind you, we still love Temi. But let's be honest, if Temi was available, our season would have looked way better, especially if she was starting. I feel like she would have got the nod way sooner. But let's move on. The narrative that players don't want to come to the Fever ends today. Let's stop that. Let's end that right now. Because Natasha Howard just put that to bed. Kelsey Mitchell was the free agent everyone pursued. She signed with the Fever. Natasha Howard was a free agent that a lot of teams wanted. She signed with the Fever. We just got a high IQ forward that can spot center minutes when Aaliyah's resting. So now Aaliyah, not only did Aaliyah slim down and she can run more without carrying that much weight, she has somebody who can spot her minutes on the bench. Now she doesn't have to get called up to the bench when another team makes a little 7-0 run. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Natasha Howard who could stop them. She could sick them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not disrespectfully, but like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just throw her out there and she gonna shut down whoever you need her to shut down. I just love it, man. She's 33 years old, right? She's coming off her career high game last year, like with 36 points against a tall and grimy Brittany Griner. So she can hold her own water. It's not like she's aging, she's declining. Everybody bringing up her numbers that don't look as good as it used to. Keep in mind, this girl did not. We're gonna get into that, but just as a preface, this girl did not really like playing in Dallas, so she didn't want to give them nothing. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to dim her light, basically. We're gonna get into all of that, of course, because she spoke about that. All right, but anyways, yeah. We just solidified our starter lineup, which was the hardest thing to find, and now we have to literally find any role player who can score off the bench. I don't care who it is. We have an Alyssa Smith replacement now, and I'm going to keep saying, getting Alyssa off our team. Like, I see some people say I'm cool with Alyssa coming off the bench. No, she's compromised. I don't care if Alyssa's coming off the bench. She gave up on us in the playoffs when it was wartime. I trust our front office wholeheartedly, but I still think we should get rid of her. I don't trust Alyssa Smith. She showed her true colors. When somebody show you who they are, believe them. You know what I'm saying? Back to Natasha, though. She has to play a smaller role now. And with a player who just went for 36 points last season, we know she's going to have some great games back here in Indy. This is the team that drafted her. This is the team with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark brought Wnba, Cox, Kelly, Kraskov, all of them together. Caitlin Clark is bringing Natasha Howard back to the team that drafted her. Caitlin Clark is bringing Stephanie White back to the team that she played for. Like, do you not understand? I seen y'all commenting it yesterday. Caitlin Clark is the linchpin. It's just what it is. Caitlin Clark is the linchpin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be honest. And yes, losing Temmie hurts us, but this is an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been lovely to have Temmie as a backup. I would take Temmie any time of the day as a backup. But like I said, put faith in this front office. We literally have monsters with good intentions for the team and control. And when you mix in Keith Porter, God bless. When you mix in Keith Porter, yo, I don't know where Stephanie White found Keith Porter at, but God bless that black brother, man, because he is just watching his film, like the film, the way he practiced with the girl, you could even get a little piece of how his brain thinks. Like, okay, like the drills he got these girls doing, the way he's bonding with them, the way he just, like, his whole demeanor is just respectable. I didn't even meet this man yet, but I just know if I ever met him, like, it will instantly click. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of people that I like being around. Like, people who's level-headed, people who's hungry for more, never satisfied, and they always striving for more, and they see things for what it is. He recognized the situation. He know who Caitlin Clark is. He know who Kelsey Mitchell is, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do the same thing with Natasha Howard, the same thing he's doing with Aaliyah Boston. Like, oh man, God bless Keith Porter, man. A lot of people are not factoring in the Christy Size effect, and this is one thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are not factoring in the Christy Size effect when they assess the Fever's 2024 run, and I'm gonna just let them do it. How many more games could we have won had she made the obvious play? Get the ball in Caitlin's hands in the clutch. We looking at like what, 5 to 7 to 10 more wins, but nonetheless, Stephanie White can read the room, and that's why I ain't really gonna trip about it too much. But let people keep sleeping on the Fever. Let people keep assessing our 2024 season like everything was going all fun, like we was having our way. Things just didn't work out. No, Caitlin Clark literally took us to the playoff when her own coach was hindering her. Make it make sense. And if that wasn't worse enough, then Alyssa Smith was hindering her, playing for the opposite side. Like, it was a 6-on-4 every time she was on the floor. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let them tell it. Anyways, let's go look through X now. You know what I'm saying? You look at Aaliyah Boston retweeting it immediately after the news came out, man. Aaliyah Boston just so supportive. I don't know how people could hate on our people. Like, even if I wasn't a Fever fan, just looking at the energy in here is just contagious. Like, everybody's positive, nobody's negative. There's no dark clouds around us besides Alyssa Smith, like in that August situation. But like, just look around. And I even see a lot of y'all commenting yesterday, like, Caitlin Clark's friends, all of them have a good spirit. Like, yes, that's the Indiana Fever. It's not even just Caitlin Clark friends, it's just the Fever girls. You really look at the Fever girls, most of them, besides the one I just named, they have good energy to them. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Aaliyah for supporting her. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Solid pickup. We got Megan Hall. I don't know who this is, but it's a journalist apparently. Solid pickup for the Fever, but I have to wonder what this means for Alyssa Smith. Well, Megan, let me tell you, because I couldn't wait. Let me tell you, Megan. This means Alyssa Smith getting flushed down the drain. I hope so. I hope they get rid of Alyssa Smith. Like, I don't know how many times we're going to talk about Alyssa Smith. She gave us nothing. She gave up on us. How do you even respect that? I don't know. Like, every fan can have their own perspective, but as a, like, I've never heard a logical reason for why we should keep Nalissa Smith. You can't say let's develop her. You had that chance multiple times. You can't say put her in the starting lineup. She had that chance. You can't say it was an opportunity. She had that chance. She literally had a coach that gave her more opportunities than even Caitlyn. Caitlyn had to take her opportunities at times. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, though, we move on from that. Kayla Clark liked this tweet when Snoozing Snoopy, one of my ex-friends, posted this with Amber Cox. Yo. Yo. Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't just get copyrighted for that. That would be so bad. But look at this, man. Like, Kayla Clark just literally having a good time, just laughing, you know what I'm saying? Just liking everybody. She's interacting on Twitter with the fans. That's amazing. It's just good to see Kayla Clark having fun on X. You know what I'm saying? She co-signed it too. We're going to get into that as well. Exclusive, in her own words, Natasha Howard opens up about free agency, what she was looking for in a team, and what it takes to win a championship. She said, I was looking for a team that would appreciate me and what I bring to the table and won't dim my light. Let that simmer in real quick. For one, you got to read between the lines in situations like this. When she say what I was looking for a team that would appreciate me, that's already crazy. So what you're saying, Dallas don't appreciate you? Then she said I was looking for a team that will appreciate me and what I bring to the table and won't dim my light. So she basically saying read between the lines. Like Dallas dimmed my light. They didn't appreciate what I bring to the table, and they probably had her in a system that they didn't sue her. And this was her tweet immediately after the news broke out. It feels good to be back where I started. Fever Nation! Fever Nation! Welcome back, Natasha. Sold out crowds and fast-paced offense. Indeed, Mike. Indeed. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to see you play. Super excited. Like, oh my God. Look at the fans just supporting her, dude. Like, it's just amazing to see, man. Just look at all, like, this is what you want to see as a player. Like, when you looking through your comments and you just see so many fans. Look at this Kelsey Mitchell. What is Kelsey Mitchell doing right here? Yeah, she's a troll. Like, I can see why her and Kayla get along. Locked On Women's Basketball with some good insight into what Natasha Howard brings to the Indiana Fever.
Really have been winning free agency. So, all right, Nikias. Let's get into it. So Alexa Philippou of ESPN reported this morning that Natasha Howard is returning to the Indiana Fever. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on this, and why does this make sense? Because I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, this felt like one of the easier free agency predictions to peg. Like, I wrote an article for Bleacher Report a little bit after the Fever were eliminated from the postseason. And the idea was, what does the ideal offseason look for them? And number one for me on the list was re-signing Kelsey Mitchell in some capacity.
Yes.
If she disagrees to a deal, if it's the core designation, make sure Kelsey Mitchell stays. Number two for me was signing Natasha Howard. And I understand the quibbles about the three-point shooting or just the jumper in general, as the Fever obviously want to spread you out. But that's veteran experience that you could use in this locker room to take you to the next step. Defensively was not Natasha Howard's best showing last season, like something I've said a bunch on the dunker spot.
Which goes back to the point of effort. You could be the best player in the world. If you don't want to play somewhere, you're not going to play up to your, you know what I'm saying?
Wings were like tenths of a point away from having the worst defensive rating in W history last season. It wasn't her best year on that front. It felt like coming back from injury plus what exactly are we doing here type beat. If Natasha Howard bounces back and we get a fully engaged version of her, someone with still a high level of defensive versatility, can switch in a pinch, can operate in the drop, can get to the level of screens and force turnovers in that way. It unlocks some lineup versatility for you. Like, if you didn't want to play Nalissa Smith at the 5, you can now play Natasha Howard at the 5 in some lineup configuration.
Did he just say we would ever even consider playing Nalissa Smith at the 5? Nakai is my brother. I would never put Nalissa at the 5. I don't know what.
So it unlocks that portion, and offensively, someone that's super comfortable in pick and roll, one of the best screeners that we have in the league. And when you're playing with a passer like Caitlin Clark, those pick and roll opportunities are just going to be there. She had quietly a career high in assists last year, so can make short roll reads for you on top of that. And if you stash smaller wings or forwards on her, Natasha Howard can still bully you in the post. So it gives them a bit of a fail safe in the post, especially if Aaliyah Boss is on the bench for her. just regular lineup staggering or foul trouble or whatever, you still have that.
I ain't gonna lie, I agree with most of what he's saying. Just that list of stuff. And speaking of staggering, I do want to say that I ain't gonna lie, staggering Dantas. A lot of people are talking about Dantas, but I would stagger Dantas and Natasha Howard too with Leah Boston. Like, you could stagger them now. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how you want to do the rotations, but you could freestyle with that. Natasha Howard, feels so good to be back where I started. And Caitlin Clark got an instant retweet. She instantly. FIFA signed veteran forward Natasha Howard, who instantly gets the Caitlin Clark stamp of approval.
C22.
Howard averaged 18.7 rebounds and 3 assists last season and fills a much-needed position left by Temi Fagbenley's departure in the expansion draft. Shout out to Natasha Howard, man. Me finding out says me finding out everything about Natasha Howard before I celebrate too soon. I'm leaning towards this as a W. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I seen the news as soon as I woke up. I said, whoa, FIFA signed who? I went to go dig up as much as I could find about that girl. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know not too much about Natasha Howard besides playing against her. Anyways, instantly took a liking to Natasha Howard the second I noticed she high-fived Caitlin Clark in that September 15 game coming out of a timeout. Vet approaching Rook mid-game. That made me smile, so I ain't mad about that signing at all. Is this a true thing? I like that. I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. Is that a true thing? Did anybody see that? If she did, that's amazing. Natasha Howard finna get the easiest bucket she's ever gotten in her entire life. I promise you she will start defending again. Not defense player of the year level, but she will strap up. Don't worry about that. And dare I say she might indeed go defensive player of the year level again. Just because of that effort. Just because. When you scoring the ball so much, when you're so engaged in the offense and your team is looking for you and your coach, everybody's, involving you in something, you feel engaged. You feel like, okay, I got to make up for it on the defensive end. No matter what happened on the offensive end, it's motivating me on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of defense goes as far as their offense. If your shot ain't falling, your defense ain't going to be as confident. You know what I'm saying? FIFA fans, take a look into the future. The Flash is coming to Indy.
Your verticality, and you must have
Natasha spin. Oh my goodness, the dream shake already. Oh, we gotta start breaking film down on Natasha. Look at the dream shake. I heard her post game was nasty, but this is disgusting. The dream shake, like this move alone right here.
Have your hands
oh my goodness, she's left. Like, she's gone. Wide open right hand shot, like a wide open push shot layup. Killed her right there. That's disgusting right there. That's nasty move. You know what I'm saying? What we got right here? We got Natasha Howard, a skip pass all the way to the corner, which assumingly would be Caitlin Clark in this situation. If you pay attention on the left side of the screen, she throws a skip pass. A skip pass is when instead of passing it to Enrique and Enrique passes it to her and she passes it to Natasha, you just skip the whole process and get it straight to her hands like this. Boom, throw it straight over her. Now she's wide open in the pocket. You telling me Caitlin Clark not gonna set her up like this? Oh, they messed up giving us Natasha Howard. Oh my goodness. And look at how her jump shot look. Her jump, they got a good mechanic to it. Look at it.
Howard launches.
Oof, butter. Yeah, her shot. Yeah, I love the mechanic. We got to get to working on her soundboard like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to get to working on her. The Dallas Wings are on the clock. Tweet from Correlation. My time spent in Dallas was cool. It was something different for me because I'm so used to playing in arenas. So coming to Dallas was completely different. Don't get me wrong. People got to start where they do. But playing in a college arena, not even having your own locker room, that was completely different. My first season was fine, and I'm grateful for everything in Dallas. Now listen, okay, Natasha? Look at this tweet right here. We freed her from the pits of hell. It's crazy because, the FIFA will give you the recognition. Now going into my 12th season in the WNBA, I know what I'm about. During free agency, I was looking for a team that would appreciate me and what I bring to the table and won't dim my light. That's the thing. I have to deal with that a lot. Even though I bust my butt in and day out, I still don't get the recognition that I deserve. I feel like this time around, I wanted a team that would give me the recognition that I need. And on top of that, just making sure that I'm happy. I want to wake up like, woo, I feel good. Today I'm going to work. I'm about to be with my teammates. I don't want to be dragging out of my bed trying to find that energy. Overall, I really just want to be happy. Have great people around me and teammates that want to work and get better. And she couldn't have picked another team better than this one. Yo, Natasha, thank you for coming here. You will be appreciated by the fans. You will be supported by your teammates. If you need an example, i.e. Nalissa Smith, where almost 99% of the fans don't like her, but yet you still got the teammates supporting her. Like, you cannot make this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, the teammates gonna support you. Yeah. I cannot believe we still got her on the team. But listen, man, I think this fever environment and roster situations gets Natasha Howard back to where she was. I'm so on board. I agree with you, Whitney. Let's go. Let's go. I'm telling you, it's an effort thing. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see it's an effort thing. She's going to come and then she's gonna get in the gym with Keith and them. She's gonna work even harder than she did. So she was dragging out of bed, dropping 26, 36 points. What you think she's gonna do when she wanna come to work? Whew, we gotta break down Natasha Howard film. We have to. Listen, it's Fever Friday. It's your boy Venom. I love you. If you ain't hit that like button, what are you doing? It's Fever Friday and you ain't hit that like button. It's Fever Friday, you ain't subscribed. What is you doing? I love ya. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. It's your boy Venom. Natasha, welcome to Indiana.